Either way, we are getting ready now for the very first attack of day number 2. The pressure is on. We are starting off in the lower bracket. Remember, if you're in the lower bracket and you lose, you will be eliminated from the competition.
That's right. They have to really get the job done here for both of those teams. And we're starting things off with the Roy Champion Charge and the Root Rider follow-up, which we have seen so many times. This time around, we have seen 7 overall invisibility spells. And Carbon, we see early on traps popping up and the Fox taking damage.
All right, what do you think the tornado trap is? Do you think it's next to the town hall? Wait for it. It's got to be. If I talk about it, it spawns. Ready? Right? Ah, there it is. I knew it. It shows up right when you speak about it. There's the tornado.
Oh, he is somehow keeping that Roy Champ alive. No clue how he's doing that, but I'm not sure. I don't think that he's going to get that monolith. He has to recall before that. But he really did hope that there would be no traps on that side, but instead really going into all that damage. Trying to distract now the Crusher Mortar to really make sure that the damage is not as heavy on his Root Riders. And that skeleton spell is really nicely placed.
Yeah, trying to distract those defenses as he powers away through the bottom side of the space. And there is a nice overgrowth to prevent that monolith from hitting these Root Riders as it continues through to the right side. Out comes a Root Rider. Furnace, Ice Golem does have to parry that first poison onto the Furnace as it continues through the right side. King and Queen are going to stay to the edge of the space, making the way all the way around slowly.
And so far, Queen and King working their way around, really pushing everything further to the inside. This is where the core is going to wake up again. But those healers are under fire. They have to stay alive. This is one of the most crucial parts of this attack strategy, having the healers staying alive. Right now, this core waking up and having no spells whatsoever to reinforce there. I am not sure if he's going to make it that much further.
Oh, that Giga Bomb is a big pain, but the problem is that monolith picking off his troops one by one as he passes his way around, and no more Grand Warden, as the King and Queen are also still to the edge, have their abilities, but these Root Riders got shredded as they try to continue through the base, and nothing was able to grab that core. And the King, Queen are going to stay to the edge. At least they can grab percentage and rack that up, but unfortunately, too many core defenses will remain here.
Yeah, there's way too many core defenses staying alive and key defenses in general. The Fire Spitter, though, not really being able to target those upper heroes. And he's going to push this a little bit further when it comes down to the percentage, but he's not going to get the 3-star, that's for sure. But we have seen yesterday many times for matches were coming down to the percentage, because being able to have those high percentages gives you the opportunity to pressure the other team into those really percentage more risky attacks, and this one is going to cross the 80%, which is not the highest, but based on the attacks which we have seen yesterday, not the worst either.
Yeah, unfortunately not able to get this one. It's just a 2-star, 83% here for Mark. So that's going to open the door for Allexceed. But the wars that Allexceed has been putting up has only been around 11 stars. We've been seeing them, and they also did put up the 9 as well. So they're going to have to look to put a 3-star on the boards first to take that lead. But a 2-star, you'll be tied up, but you have to be above the 83%. We've seen several attacks in the low percentage when they go right into a bait, and it could be a big problem. But here we go. Naomi is going to look to start it off for Allexceed.
That's right. Can he make sure that he's avoiding that trap, avoiding the bait? That is the key word here. But this is going to be a mess. I am not sure if that was intended. That fireball value didn't look too crazy. Maybe he was happy with just getting that compartment. But for now, at least, the Warden is going to charge into the defending King. He has the Minion Prince as well with him, which is always really cool. And take a look at that, Carbon. 26 rocket loons. That is a lot.
Quite a bit of rocket loons. As this Warden's going to push his way through this bottom side into this defensive King, and he's going to get slowed down. Pairs in the Headhunter. But we have a Flame Flinger about to be approaching a mortar, so he's going to have to do something about that mortar. Maybe a couple of rocket loons to snipe it after the Wizard Tower to the top side goes down.
I'm wondering as well if the pets are actually intended that way, because we have the Unicorn and the Warden, which is not that usual when it comes down to the Warden charges. And we have as well no Angry Jelly on the Minion Prince, which means that hero is going to be stuck for a lot of time on those outside non-defensive buildings. And usually you're combining the Minion Prince with the Angry Jelly if you're doing an attack like this. Right now, taking down the defenses for the Minion Prince and trying to funnel the Minion Prince into that compartment. But he still has to go a long way with the Archer Queen and the King not even deployed just yet.
He's trying to pick things off one by one, and this is an attack that they would not have planned to try to defend against. And that's one thing you can take the risk, is you come in with an unorthodox attack, which means that it could be risky, but it could pay off. Let's see as that Minion Prince is slowly charging his way through this right side towards the defensive Queen. Pops the ability with the Metal Pants, gonna able to lock onto the Queen, try to take her down. Some Furnace Mites jump to him, but he's okay as he continues through that far right section.
How much more is he going to get? That's the big question. Using more rocket loons now, which are going to lure over that Warden, which is so far still under attack from the Ice Golem, so getting slowed down. And there's so much base left on this far right side. We have the Queen on the top side with her ability taking down the Town Hall, so that is secure with having the second star. But that backhand compartment and the core as well are looking dangerous, and there's only a few spells left. Can he push all the way with 0 rocket loons now remaining?
Well, that was a clutch invis on the Warden. He needs to keep that Warden alive. Compare in the freeze and the invis. The Warden needs to step through, grab the monolith, but unfortunately he doesn't go for it. He goes invisible perfectly. Could be able to work through the enemy royal champion, but no, he goes for the multi first. But only 25 seconds. He got to freeze something. He got 2 heroes and the minion. Oh no, the Warden goes down to the monolith. The defensive Minion Prince and the defensive RC are both still there. But Allexceed will have the lead, 91% to an 83. So Allexceed are in the lead after the first set of attacks.
That's right, a small percentage lead, but that attack for sure was interesting. We don't really usually see so many rocket loons. The fireball wasn't the craziest, so really try to set up that flame finger early on. It feels like that was an interesting choice for sure with that Minion Prince, not bringing, for example, the Angry Jelly, which would have been available. He did not use it anywhere else.
Yeah. Angry Jelly, well, could have been on the board, but unfortunately doesn't get that triple there, as we are going to see the Roots coming back here with that Royal Champion to the top side. And you know, wherever you send the RC, there's got to be tornado traps probably next to the smile. If it's a section that looks really good, is he going to push in towards the top side at 12? Monolith, oh, just a couple giant bombs, small bombs as well. He's okay so far. Will he go to the ricochet cannon to the right? No, he goes straight to the scatter, but doesn't want to take that down. Just pulls the RC back as he deploys the Yeti to the far right side. And an Ice Golem, Queen, and probably the Roots coming to the top side.
Oh, with the Log Launcher together to snipe that Fire Spitter, and then have the Root Riders from the far right side, really setting up that pathing. The Warden is in there as well to really merge everything together with the Root Riders, but have that Queen pushing in the beginning. She's low on hit points, have to invest that invisibility spell, but the bomb tower is gone and the Root Riders won't take any damage from that. King on the outside to push everything further in, but the opening is looking really solid with the merged cannon even going down as well.
But he also grabbed the Poison Spell Tower, so that will not launch onto his Root Riders as he continues his way towards this Town Hall. King is on the edge, going to try to help path the Roots towards the Town Hall now, as we have that Log Launcher opening up. An Overgrowth on the backside, not clipping the Town Hall, so he can actually take it down early, and then he can still use the Warden ability now.
Oh, the Root Riders all go into the core. This was for sure not meant to be, but this means this bottom part of the base is really struggling. The Royal Champion going down in her ability. The Rocket Spears not safety enough for her. And in any moment we have this entire part now waking up again, and the Root Riders are in so much danger, firing or having fire from every single possible angle on them. And the percentage again seems not to be too high, depending on how much further he can push.
The healers are what needs to keep his troops alive, and the roots are gone, but it's now up to the heroes. Can his queen continue to step through? But we don't have much time, only about 50 seconds remaining in this attack. As it continues through, there's quite a bit to the top with that Giga Bomb also there, and even the defending minion prince waiting. A couple super barbs have to be placed perfectly. King's walking back around the walls. But his queen's going to get stuck behind this set of walls, or is she going to go to the left? She does go to the air defense, but now she's got to beat through this wall here and eventually have to get through it with that giant spawning from that queen ability.
Yeah, and I feel like that rage spell, when the Root Riders pushed that deep into the base, was a really great timing because they stayed alive way longer than I was expecting. And this means this is going to push really solid on the percentage points. We have the King ability for the back end defenses. And I feel like at this stage, the biggest issue as well is time, as the multi-gear tower, though, is going to take down the troop after troop. And this means 96% 2-star. After that opening with the Root Riders not going to plan, that was a really solid recovery.
96%, I would say time fail, but I don't believe so, because those defenses remaining probably would have taken out the queen, especially with the defensive king still patrolling that area. But nice try. Unfortunately, does not get that 3-star, so continues 2-star after 2-star, but improves the percentage from into the 80s, now into the 90s. But Allexceed had the lead after the first attack with percentage on their side. Now it's going to be Heroya. He's gotten a 1-star. He's gotten a triple. And you got to get a triple again. Don't get a 2-star to try to get all of the percentages here, all the stars in between. But let's see, as that Royal Champion indeed is going to charge towards this Town Hall. And unfortunately, he was a little late with that invis. Forced with another one, as the Town Hall did launch at least one shot onto the RC, which is a little bit of an issue. And it launches another shot there, too.
Yeah, quite a few shots are happening, but at the same time, the Town Hall is gone, which is the good news for him right now. Investing in another invisibility spell to take down not just the Monolith, but as well going for that multi-inferno tower. The Fox staying alive, I mean, with 1 hit point, recalling now. And the good news now is, if he's delaying that Royal Champ a little bit, he has the chance of not just from the healers, but as well, maybe then later some... Is that with the healing tome maybe on there? Depending on if there is, he might be able to recover the hit points on that Royal Champion.
Yeah, as he pushes his way through the bottom side, the King is probably going to get deployed at 6. Finds the Tornado Trap right now, and there we go. King, stay on the edge. Continue to grab these buildings to allow the roots. The Queen want to power their way right on through towards the core of this base. But that backside, 2 air expos. Geared up cannon, the multi, and the Giga Bomb. Oh, wait. Gonna be a lot of problems. You gotta wait to use this Warden Eternal Tome as late as possible, with an Overgrowth now being deployed to the top side.
Yeah, the Overgrowth really nicely clipping out of those back-end important defenses. But there are some red mines catching those healers. Oh, those red mines were placed perfectly, but he's reacting with that Eternal Tome, keeping most of those healers alive for now, making sure that they're not taking any more damage. But with poison towers and such laying around, those healers are in danger.
Yeah, unfortunately, the defensive mini prince is doing work. Nothing is going for him. He's just pounding these troops away one by one, as the Queen is now getting stuck on a wall to the bottom side. King still has his ability, but the troops have disappeared so quickly, and that's the thing in hard mode. The heroes on the attacking heroes yourself are so much weaker, 10% weaker, while the defending heroes are stronger, 20% stronger. So it's like a 30% difference in terms of a normal attack versus a hard mode attack. That's why you see these heroes not as strong. They don't get as much of the base cleanup as you would normally do with the regular mode. And that's why the hard mode is hard with these pro players here, as Air Skelly's popping up, a couple more super barbs to deploy, but another 2-star that we're seeing in this match. So it's going to come down to whoever is getting that 1 triple might be the team that takes the lead. And right now, Allexceed still have the lead right now by 1 building. 1 building difference at the moment is in the lead of Allexceed, and that's what this war is so far.
I mean, the 1 building pretty much means that we are back to 0. I mean, one building, that will never make a difference, right? Okay, it happened yesterday, I feel like multiple times, but well, let's see if it's going to happen in this match as well. At least right now, both teams are super close when it comes down to the scores. No 3-stars just yet in the matchup. Question now is, are we going to witness the first 3-star from Ariam? He was really successful in his attacks yesterday. So are we going to see another dragon attack? And indeed, we see the dragons coming in versus this base right here with an Ice Hound and Ice Golem for the later stages. And a lot of invisibility spells to really get as much value as possible.
One ice block here, which will typically be used on the Lava Hound, but in this case he has an Ice Hound. So he's going to use the ice block on that to protect it longer. And then the Royal Champion is looking to get her value with a Yeti to the bottom side. You can grab this air defense, but no recall. So it's all about keeping this RC alive for as long as possible. There's an Earthquake. And finds the whole Tesla farm actually kind of nice. I love the fact he found Tesla farm, but the monolith needs to go down. Yeah, there you go. So he got the RC back on track to get the monolith. It was worth the investment of rerouting the RC from the top side, getting it into the core, and now going to the scatter shot. So far, really loving the value Ariam's getting.
Yeah, and especially the way and how he's playing that is really clean, which means he's always making sure that he's skipping 1 or 2 defenses right here to getting another defense out of the way. Without that skip in the end, he could have not gotten the bitter out. And this really is, if you're adding this up over the entire attack, a really big deal. Now, some headhunters to take down the defending minion prince. You have talked about how much stronger those defending heroes are, so you have to take them out. And now we're starting at that bottom side with the first dragons. More dragons are coming in, this time around more towards the fire spitter. And we have now both pushes going strong. The dragons from the bottom side and the king with the siege barracks from the top.
And he did use that ice block onto the Ice Hound. It's going to fly across. Can it actually die right over the town? Okay, there's the warden. Can the Ice Hound die over the town hall? Wait for it. Wait, that would be a perfect time to die. And it does. Wow. Freezing the town hall. Also triggering the red air bombs. Triggering the tornado trap. A really clean Ice Hound pop there. But he needs to continue to grab the town hall, though, with these dragons. Does he have enough powering through that? Minion Prince is all enraged from the Dark Crown ability.
Ooh, he really needs to make sure that he's pushing as far as possible with this one. Minion Prince still having that Phoenix, so he still has the chance of like going down and coming back to support the remaining troops. With 40 seconds left, that should be enough, but a lot of black mines are hitting, and the back end Mutterthrone Tower will make sure that those fire mines, which are swarming from the top side, are not going to make any difference, I guess. Let's see on how much value they can claim.
Oh my, all the Seeking Air Mines are in this back compartment where he is ending this attack. That is not ideal. I wonder if he had something other than the furnaces from the top side. Would that have made a difference? Let's say super minions, rocket loons, or something there, because the minion prince is trying to take the multi. He won't be able to finish it off as he does come back to life, but it is only at the 97% 2-star, and just keep adding 2-stars to the board. Allexceed had the lead, but this is the highest percentage so far in this match. Gonna put extra pressure onto Allexceed now.
That's right, but I feel like he could have maybe done some different choices. For sure, the clan caster wasn't really optimal with the furnace. I've talked about with some of the other pros, because there are some questions which I always have, which is why do pros always use those furnace inside the clan castle? And typically the answer was like, someone started it and everyone just copied and is not really thinking about it. But in reality, you should always look for the back end. If there's a multi-front tower or a splash in general, do not use furnaces. And it seems like the Ariam did not really plan this through. It could have resulted in the first 3-star of this match with, for example, super minions, because they would have dealt for sure enough damage to claim that first 3-star. Instead, we see the high percentage, which means they could have the lead up the percentage side if we don't see a 3-star now from Luca from Allexceed.
Let's see, as the RC is charging towards this town hall. Another invis is down. Do not let that town hall fire the shots onto the RC. Goes in with another invis. Does not utilize that Spear Fox timing. Another invis to pass the town hall so that the boots can try to finish it off as the baby dragons off onto the bomb tower. And the town hall does get one shot off, unfortunately. Now he's passing and he's not going. Okay, you gotta go get that town hall. Go get that. Okay. He sets a couple rocket loops because at this point the RC will not take it out.
I mean, that was really nice reaction, making sure that he's getting that town hall out of the way. But with the town hall skip, he's getting a ton of value. The entire core is gone. He's not going to use that last invis for his Royal Champion. Instead, he lets that Royal Champion go down. And looking forward to see what we see now on the siege, like inside the siege on this attack, because we see again a multi-furniture on the far left side. So the furnace might be not really that optimal on this one.
Ooh, there is one baby dragon and a dragonon and the king, so that would be nice to take him down early. Won't have to deal with him later in the attack. Obviously, he's far away from any defenses or buildings, so you almost wouldn't really need to deal with him. But he is powering his way to the left with that minion prince and warden working together. Dragons slowly will push their way through, but there is a lot of damage on this backside here, Itzu.
There is indeed. I mean, take a look at that Tesla farm popping up as well. And now we see from the top that the super minions coming in. So we really see that he planned ahead there, even though the siege popped really early. I'm not sure if he opened that manually to really have them early with the support of the queen. We still have the queen ability though. And with the minion prince Phoenix, he might have a chance to push this all the way through, depending on how much damage those Tesla can do.
He uses the invis onto the dragons, but it's not the greatest invis placement there. He's trying to continue his way into that multi. The queen's still alive. The giant's there. Minion prince is rage. He's moving around and it's looking good. And look at that, Itzu. The super minions in this clan castle definitely helped in this attack. Not too many troops left, but Luca coming in with a 3-star for Allexceed. And they not only have the star lead, they also have the percentage lead.
Yeah, really nice choice there with the Clan Casa and as well with the Archer Queen. I mean, there's always the option within those dragon attacks to either go with the Barbarian King, with the Siege Barracks together, or with the Archer Queen. And I feel like the Archer Queen really provided a lot of value on this one with the Super Minions together. A lot of damage where everything then was coming together on the last firing compartment, getting them the first 3-star. Now the big question is, can we see the first 3-star as well from Zowat Stoer? Because we have their next attacker ready. And we will find out what he's going to use on this one. It's Super Dragons. Okay.
Oh,
that's cool. As well, is that a queen charge? What is happening?
Itzu, I believe so. I don't think your eyes are fooling you here. We have a queen charging her way through with super dragons as he drops a hog to try to pull a Tesla for this flame flinger as he rages the queen up, and he's got a frozen arrow onto this queen to slow things down. And you definitely know this plan was 100% not accounted for, so they were not testing it against the queen charge.
Yeah, but the Bear Dragon was deployed so late, which means that Ground Expo, which he tried to take down for the Flame Flinger, is staying alive because he can't reach it over the wall. He's going to recall his queen now to the other side. But that Ground Expo is going to be a really big problem. I hope he sees those skeletons traveling to the Flame Flinger. Otherwise, this is going to go downhill really quickly. But nope, he is having the attention there, taking those skeletons out. Now it's all about how quickly can this Expo be taken care of, because that Flame Flinger could get insane value.
Yeah, with the Super Dragons now moving towards this Town Hall, out comes the Furnace. An early Warden Eternal Tome to help protect the Seeking Air Mine and the Town Hall shots as he needs to continue his way through. There is a rage to get this Town Hall down as quick as possible. And you mentioned it, the Flame Flinger opens up, and that Expo was the problem there. But the King has got the Yak. So the King can charge through these walls pretty quickly with the Yak as he's now moving his way through the top side. But these Super Dragons are encountering so much damage here now.
Yeah, there's so much damage. The Minion Prince already in the Phoenix form as well. And I feel like this push is not really getting that much further. The plan overall was cool, but in the end, the power was just missing. Or maybe the King can still carry. I don't know. Would be really crazy to see this Archqueen with the king together finish off this backhand, but I don't really see that just yet.
Yeah, there's no way you can do that. The queen luckily does have the frozen arrow, so can slow down any defense that is hitting her with the assistance of a freeze. But it's going to be too much here with only 45 seconds left. Unfortunately, another 2-star here for their team. 2-star, 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 and the fourth attack for them is another 2-star. So they got to hope that their final attack can triple, and then hope that Allexceed, who have Invincible LG and Kazuma, both fall short with 2-stars and a lower percentage.
Yeah, overall, I think the plan was really solid. It was more about the Bay Dragon being a little bit too late, which did result in the Flame Flinger going down too early. That Scare Shot could have been going down. And as well with that, then this means that the push into the Town Hall did not go as clean as he was hoping for, it seems like. But overall, really cool approach for sure. But it is not going to result in that needed 3-star. This means now on the other side though, we have the prime position in there with already a 3-star on the table for them. Can they 3-star again for Allexceed to really push them in a big commanding lead?
All it takes is one attack to go your way or not go your way to determine the outcome of this match. As we have Invincible LG charging with these roots. It's all about keeping the RC alive with a double overgrowth. No Eternal Tome on this Grand Warden here, as this RC is going to go invisible right away from the top side, charging into the Ricochet Cannon and then towards this Ground Expo. But this RC charge is from the complete opposite side of the Town Hall here.
That's right, complete opposite side. Typically, we always see those baits on the flank of the Town Hall. And this time around, they're trying to avoid that with going from the complete opposite side. And if I remember correctly, that is the base from yesterday, where the tester farm was in front of that multi-inferno tower. Let's see if the entire tester farm is going to pop up. We might remember we had the Rocket Dunes trying to push the Royal Champion back, but it did not work out whatsoever in yesterday's match, where this base had a... I think it was a 1-star defense actually for it. So this time around, a complete different approach. Is this having a chance to 3-star?
Well, the log launcher is sniping the Ground Expo and the Flame Flinger, continuing through to open up even more walls, actually give him access to the core, as we have the Warden still waiting on his ability of the Healing Tome, as the Valkyries are running around to the bottom, still yet to deploy his King, as this Town Hall goes down pretty quickly, and the King is now finally deployed at 6 o'clock, as these balloons need to hopefully protect these healers now.
Yeah, the overgrowth maybe used again. So far, not done. Oh, the Royal Champion is really in a lot of danger. He has to be careful there, but he has nothing to react with it anymore. He really relies on that Royal Champion and the Fox staying alive somehow. The overgrowth on the last compartment, and we now see on the top left the Tesla farm popping up, so that did not change anything about the placement of the Tesla farm whatsoever. But the traps on the bottom side, this damage is just getting healed back up again with the healers and the Rage Gem of the Warden.
Yeah, that Royal Champion's still alive, and even the Spear Fox is still there. Pops the King ability. He's going to move into this compartment a little bit, as the Warden unfortunately does get locked in by the Monolith, but the Queen is taking the Monolith down. Diggy stuns it as the Giant is there. But this Giga Bomb is going to be a little bit of a pain. And the defensive minion Prince, though, is a big problem through this final section. Air Skelly's popping, hitting these healers. And these roots are going to go down to the Giga Bomb just like that, taking so much damage. And that minion Prince just doesn't want to die.
Is staying alive and staying alive and staying alive again. The base defense again for Zowat Stoer, and they have the chance now of coming back, because if they would 3-star, we would have again a crazy match in our hands where Allexceed is getting a little bit pressure on their side. But that 3-star would be needed so badly, because Allexceed right now is otherwise in a commanding position.
Allexceed are looking good, but all it takes is a triple here to put pressure on Allexceed to have to get at least a decent enough 2-star to lock it up. They wouldn't even have to triple, but it would have to be towards the 90s. It would have to be a high enough percentage, meaning that it could easily fall short, and that is not a guarantee. You have to start to think about that final attack. Anything can happen here. It can swing both ways. We do not have a locked up confirmed winner yet. It's going to come down to the final set of attacks, and that's what we want to see. We saw it several times, especially when it came down to MMG yesterday. Their wars came down to the final attack, and it was Nest 4X that clutched it up for them. And is it going to have to be the final attack, which would be Kazuma for Allexceed? Will he have to clutch up for them? So we are now seeing the Dragons paired in with an Ice Block. That's going to be used with that Lava Hound here, as we got Rocket Loons going in to take out that Tassa farm that has popped up as the Royal Champion is charging near the Town Hall, and that Town Hall does, fortunately, get a shot off on her.
Yeah, he needs to like rotate now double with that invisibility spell to keep that Fox alive, and he's doing exactly that. So there is different timings for the invisibility spell depending on where you are charging with that Royal Champion. If the Town Hall is close by, you typically go back-to-back invisibility spells and then to the rotation of the Fox. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. Another invis with the Royal Champ ability, pushing through the Town Hall quickly. But there's a lot of damage, which means the Fox is gone now.
Yeah, no more Spirit Fox. This is going to be a problem. The RC does not go where he wanted her to go. That is a problem. He did at least pull a Tornado Trap, but you see by his reaction, he wanted that RC to go a little bit deeper in the base. He could have used that final Invis spell, but he's not going to use this Poison spell because he knows there's probably a Furnace that still awaits inside the Clan Castle. So let that King take the Ice Golem down. And here we go. Dragons are now down to the right side. No Archer Queen to use in this attack. And he's going to push his way to the right from away from the sweeper location. There's the regular Hound. He's going to Ice Block it through double Seeking Air Mines. Keeps the Hound alive.
Well, I really hope that he's having the right Clan Castle into 3 Inferno Towers using again a Furnace Clan Castle. Please bring something different. But right now it feels like the bigger problem is the far right side with the Dragons. The Warden now finally catching up, so we can use the Warden ability in just a second. Right now, heating things back up. The King is inside that Fire Spirit compartment to take that out, which is working right now quite nicely. King ability should be popped any second as well to go through the storages in the middle, which means the Minion Prince can now eat. Oh no, I see Fire Mites going in. Why you bring Fire Mites into 3 multi-Inferno Towers on the back end?
But the Infernos will go down here soon. The Minion Prince will take it out. It does have an Invis, so now the Fire Mites can actually work to the left, and they can do a lot of work working onto this Monolith. The multi needs to go down. The defensive Minion Prince is a problem. He's got the Phoenix on the Minion Prince, so that's going to be clutch. 40 seconds left. Come on, Phoenix. He comes back to life. Multi goes down. The only left is that multi-archer tower, but the Warden and Dragons should power through it.
And he has to take that out. That's another like a splash defense, which could take down all of those Fire Mites. But right now, the Fire Mites are working somewhat solid. The multi-arch tower is going down. But in the end, he's clutching it out with that 3-star. Nice job. He did not have the Royal Champion going into the direction he was hoping for, but it feels like in the end, it worked out completely fine. And this is now back pressure on the side of Allexceed.
So that means Allexceed will need a 92% 2-star to win this war. And let me see the other attacks. Oh my. All the other 2-stars that Allexceed got was, get ready for this, an 89, a 91, and a 91. They need a 92. Obviously, they did get a triple, so they haven't gotten a 92 or higher 2-star. 91, 91, 89. If they get a 91, it is an exact draw. It's a tie war, and it will come down to time. I'm looking at the time right now, and a 3-minute attack would mean that Allexceed actually would win this war. So if they get a 90, if they take 3 minutes and get a 91, they win. So basically it's a 91 or 92. They would win on time, finding all the red air bombs here in this start of the attack. So you get a 91, 92, you win this war. Good luck here to Kazuma.
Oh, and this could cause problems if there are any traps. There are the traps now. This is what was important, that their defense would go down. But instead it stayed up and lures the Fox into all of those traps, which means we're witnessing right now an entry, which is baited, and he needs a 92% attack. Not good news right now for Allexceed. Kazuma really has to make this somehow work. The log launcher now coming in to snipe those flanking defenses, to have those root riders then push into the bottom side, and there is a Gigabot waiting for him as well. Carbon, this is going to be a really intense one.
This is going to be tough as that log launcher is getting hit by the scatter right away. It's about to open. It does remove it. Logs get and hit the town hall, but he's pushing his way straight in towards the Giga Bomb to help take this down, moving his way around towards the town hall and then all the way around as he does pair an overgrowth, and he clips the town hall with that overgrowth.
He does, which means he's going to push around this bottom compartment with his troops. King and Dice going from the far right side to really keep everything on track. The overgrowth is still going to last for a little bit, which means the troops are going to path into the compartment on the far right side. The drain trap might change this interaction, might change the timing now with the overgrowth running out, which is actually good for him, I feel like, because the town hall is not going to do too much damage to him now.
Yeah, with that ward internal tone protecting through the town hall, taking that out, he does have another overgrowth. He decides to go freeze onto the crusher mortar instead, and there's the overgrowth to the far backside. King's got ability, RC's got ability, Queen's got ability as he's powering his way around this base, needs to take out the defensive minion prince. Remember, the mark to get is at 92, you win clearly. 91 is a draw, but the King is making his way up, still has their ability, and he's getting close to this percent here, Itsu. He's smiling.
This looks really good with 3 hero abilities left. I mean, the Royal Champion now picking out those other defenses. The healers are alive. The Queen abilities there as well. And the King Spiky Ball. He already crossed the 80% mark. He can't be happy right now for sure. Closing onto the 90% mark. Another Invis as well coming in to keep the Queen and as well the Royal Champion alive. This might be just as well a 3-star.
Wow, he does it. Not only does he get that 2-star needed, he gets the triple, and Allexceed are exceeding our expectations, and they get another victory. That is now their second victory here in this weekend, continuing through this lower bracket. Throughout the previous 3 monthly finals that they qualified for, they got a total of 0 wins. They went 0-6. Now they've got 2 wins, and they are continuing their streak